Howdy, y'all. This is Proverbs 31 in the New Living Translation for August 31, 2023. The sayings of King Lemuel contain this message, which his mother taught him. O my son, son of my womb, O son of my vows, do not waste your strength on women, on those who ruin kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, to guzzle wine. Rulers should not crave alcohol. For if they drink, they may forget the law and not give justice to the oppressed. Alcohol is for the dying, and wine for those in bitter distress. Let them drink to forget their poverty and remember their troubles no more. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Ensure justice for those being crushed. Yes, speak up for the poor and the helpless and see that they get justice. Who can find a virtuous and capable wife? She's more precious than rubies. Her husband can trust her, and she will greatly enrich his life. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She finds wool and flax and busily spins it. She's like a merchant ship, bringing her food from afar. She gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household and plan the day's work for her servant girls. She goes to inspect a field and buys it. With her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She's energetic and strong, a hard worker. She makes sure her dealings are profitable. Her lamp burns late into the night. Her hands are busy spinning thread, her fingers twisting fiber. She extends a helping hand to the poor and opens her arms to the needy. She has no fear of winter for her household, for everyone has warm clothes. She makes her own bedspreads. She dresses in fine linen and purple gowns. Her husband is well known at the city gates, where he sits with the other civic leaders. She makes belted linen garments and sashes to sell to the merchants. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instruction with kindness. She carefully watches everything in her household and suffers nothing from laziness. Her children stand and bless her. Her husband praises her. There are many virtuous and capable women in the world, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive, and beauty does not last, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. Reward her for all she has done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise. Must be dehydrated. I'm going to reread this last two because they're important. Charm is deceptive, and beauty does not last, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. Reward her for all she's done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise. So, in the footnotes, it says verses 10 through 31 comprise a Hebrew acrostic poem. Each verse begins with a successive letter of the Hebrew alphabet. What's the acrostic? I need to know. Why is it not in this footnote? 31. Sorry, I've been pulling poison ivy, which I shouldn't be touching myself, but I feel like I got something crawling on me. Been out in the yard for, I don't know, a couple of hours now, trying to gently pull and fork out poison ivy. I'll know if I touch it later. And then 21, it says warm clothes, no fear of the winter because of warm. She has no fear of winter for her household, for everyone has warm clothes. But in Greek and Hebrew, it comes across, reads as scarlet clothes, which is interesting. You got a lady wearing like purple and fine clothes, but her warm clothes are scarlet. So this is a woman that has it together and has a plan. The first couple of pieces here, it's just like, hey, son. This is a mom talking. Son, don't mess with them 304s. You'll regret it. Don't mess with the hose. And then it's interesting because it's like these are two uses that we get for alcohol and one kind of prohibition. So like leaders shouldn't be drinking because they'll forget the law and they'll screw up and be unjust. But then people in bitter distress, end of life scenario, these people, it sounds like they kind of have carte blanche to be drinking, and we shouldn't feel bad for giving strong drinks, or the equivalent of strong medicine, to people at the end of life. Shouldn't have any qualms about that. They're facing death, and if they're in pain, we should be taking care of them. And then again, this mom is telling him, like, look, be just. Speak up for the people that can't speak for themselves. Speak up for the poor and helpless and see that they get justice. And this mom telling him, like, listen. Kind of like a certain Leonard Skinner song, right? And then 10 through 31, all about the ladies and how to find a virtuous wife and what she looks like. Essentially, self-motivated, industrious, managing her household, taking care of the people in it. Specifically doesn't harm her husband, but greatly enriches his life. So again, stay away from them whores, both literal and figurative, gentlemen. They can really put a poor tact on your life that you may not recover from. And this is a lady about the town, because not only is she like doing the household chores that, or not chores, but the things that I feel like a lot of people in the ancient world would have known, right? Just how to spin yarn and thread and things like that. She's also creating garments and belted outfits, and she's doing a lot. Buys a field, plants a vineyard. I wish I was as shrewd of a businesswoman or business person as this woman is. She isn't even making her own bedspreads. I really loved that my grandmother would make our shorts, she would make me shorts and shirts and stuff when I was little. And part of it was because we didn't have the money, but I didn't know any better, number one. I kind of knew. Number two, though, she would take me to Walmart. Walmart actually had fabric at the time, or a place like that, and I would pick out the crazy fabrics that I liked, and that's what she would use to make me cool shirts and shorts and stuff. So not everybody's going to be doing the same things, gifting the same way. I wish my wife would do stuff like that, but they've got an auntie who does do that, and I'm sure if we just ask, we could get it done. If not, you just pay her, you know what I mean? Like, she does it for hire. She's a talented designer and seamstress. Her children stand and bless her, and her husband praises her. So, a woman moving into maturity, this is what it should look like. Shouldn't have kids that curse her, shouldn't have a husband that avoids her or talks bad about her or has a quarrel with her. She should be praised. And it says, reward her for all she's done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise. So reward her, right? Charm is deceptive, beauty doesn't last. But a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. I can't say it today, praised. Charm is deceptive and beauty does not last, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. Boom, got it that time. I need to go drink some water. Maybe I'm dehydrated. It's time for a little liquid IV or something. And with that, that's a wrap on the New Living Translation. Maybe I'll make a little bit of a note on it. I've enjoyed the way that it... Sorry. Got an ant or something in here with me. Maybe that's what I felt. I've enjoyed the way that it read and a lot of the footnotes. So I have to see where we go from here. And see you again next time. It'll be September 1st. Go with God. Be blessed.